My name is Isaac Danko, born and raised in Ghana, Accra, in West Africa. And I have a foundation, Danko Tennis and Education Foundation. Growing up in Ghana was, it was quite interesting. It was basically 7 of us, 3 brothers and 3 sisters. I was the second in the family. Mom and dad just pretty much just kind of scraping to kind of keep us going. Dad was working as an accountant. And mom was just a trader that just goes to the market. So it was pretty tough. It was pretty tough upbringing. I knew about lawn tennis, but I'd never really actually seen it until I was about 10 years old. The closest thing I saw was ping pong, table tennis. I was walking to school, and as I was walking, I heard this noise, pa, pa, pa going on. I look up and I see the yellow balls going back and forth. One of the balls flies over the fence, and I chased over. I ran over and grabbed the ball, and the lady waves, and I threw the ball at her. And next thing I know, this lady walks out of this hotel, and she basically had a t-shirt in her hand and a $5 bill. And she walks up to me and says, "Thank you very much for just picking up the balls and throwing it to her." I gave this money and the t-shirt, showed my mom and dad, and that $5 was huge. It fed us for a couple of days. I actually come back from school, and instead of doing my homework, I'll run up there and sit on the wall. And then, of course, the hotel now hired a coach. Basically, he also wanted some ball kids to help him out. Because I was one of the guys that kind of started doing that, I was always there, I got picked. We all became ball boys for this hotel. Luckily for us, one lady brought us one tennis racket. We had to come up with a second racket. I went out there and I picked up a board, just a plain board. And I put the wooden racket that we got on it, and I drew around it, and I cut a replica of the racket. So one person had the wooden racket, and another person had the board. If you win, you get to keep the real racket. If you lose, you stick with the board. I was so keen, and I really want to learn. So I'll go to my coach, and I'll be like, "Coach, can you show me the way to hit a forehand? Give me a forehand grip." And so coach would show me a little bit of grip here, backhand grip here. And remember, I'll go against the wall, and I'll just practice that forehand grip against the wall all afternoon. And the same thing with the backhand side, like that. And that is pretty much how I got better. We just played and just have a little game and competition among all 6 of us, 7 of us. Winner stays on, that kind of thing that we did. And I remember I stayed on for quite a while, a long time. '89 was the first time that Davis Cup was actually played in Ghana. I was a ball boy. As the top players would come up and they're playing, their grips they're holding and stuff, I'll walk up to them and be like, "How do you hit the ball that spin like that? Can you show me the grip?" And then they'll show me that grip, and I would tape it on the grip like that, go against the wall all day. And so that's basically how I got pretty good very quick by just being keen and asking a lot of questions and working against the wall, and my coach also helping me, give me a little tips here and there. There was a local tournament that was being played, and it was on a clay court. At that time, I didn't have shoes, so I was playing barefoot tennis. And somebody came up to me and said, "You've been playing barefoot on this thing. Is your foot not hurting? Can we get you shoes?" I said, "I would love some shoes." And I remember playing semi-final match with the shoes on. And this is a guy that I normally beat in the competition. I was losing to him because I couldn't move very well with the shoes. At this time, this guy called Franco Fori, he was Ghana's #1 top player. Fori said to me, "You don't have to be in this tournament to be selected by ITF." I was like, "Really?" He's like, No. ITF is looking around for talent. If you have good attitude and you hit a good ball and you whatever, so you can get in. So this guy said, "You're going to practice with me every time before I go play my match." This guy went on to win the whole tournament. And so that kind of put a good eye on me. This time is when I was approached by an ITF coach. His name was Mr. Dan O'Connell. Dan O'Connell walked up to me basically and said, "Isaac Danko, would you want to get play college tennis in the States?" I was like, "Are you kidding? That's my dream. I would love to go there, man. I don't care where." So he said, "Okay, Isaac, all you need to do is get an SAT done, and you get that done, and basically, we will try and get you a scholarship to States." And when I passed the SAT, was that I knew this was my chance to go. I honestly kept this SAT result under my pillow. I did not hear from this Coach O'Connell for like a year or 2. So one day, I'm sitting at the Sunrise Hotel practicing, and next thing I know, I heard Isaac Danko, and it was Dan O'Connell. This guy was flying. When they got to Ghana, the plane was running out of gas. And so this guy took a taxi and went to the hotel and basically saw me. He said, Isaac Danko, I'm here. You know, I'm just here for 24 hours or whatever. And have you done the SAT? I was like, you kid, I did the SAT a year ago. Anyway, I gave him the SAT results. He took it with him. And a few months later, I got a letter from New Mexico Military Institute. And so that's where I got my first scholarship to go to, full tennis scholarship to go to Roswell, New Mexico for a 2-year junior college school. My second year, I did really, really well. I actually finished #1 in the country. So I remember I was the first person to take New Mexico Military to a national championship. And I remember one day I got up and I saw my name on the US Today in the top corner, my picture and my name saying Isaac Danko, national champion, junior college. I think the coach there at that time was Mr. Tim Cass, who basically took me in and singularly just promised me that, Isaac, you're here now, you're going to play for us, but I'll make sure you graduate. And I lost in the finals to a guy, so I finished #2 in the country in JC, which was still plenty. And that is what got me the opportunity to go to play Davis Cup. Because my country saw that and like, oh, Isaac is playing some good tennis, let's invite him to come and play Davis Cup with Franco Fori. I joined him as #2 player, and I played Davis Cup for about 6-7 years. My parents never watched me play until I made it to Davis Cup. When I played a Davis Cup match in Ghana, it's when I saw my parents come out and see me play tennis for the first time. It was so good, you know, seeing them out there being supportive like that. And I remember winning the match and going out there and giving them a massive hug, and that was awesome for me. I got an opportunity to work for Washington Tennis and Education Foundation, and they work with some underprivileged kids. They basically go into the neighborhoods and pick up these kids, bring them to the school, and then they'll bring them in there and teach them a lot of tennis, you know, a lot of mannerism here and there, and then they'll go. We used to go to the schools and run clinics and run events. I was actually thinking I want to start a tennis academy. That was one of my big dreams. I want to do an academy, and I want to kind of start training Ghanaian kids and try to see if I can help them somehow in tennis, because that was one of the things I was lacking in Ghana, tennis-wise. The coaching wasn't great. There wasn't enough coaches. So I kind of felt like, you know, if I'm doing well in coaching in this and so many people have helped me in my life, and I want to kind of give back. I kind of got that idea about, wow, if I can take this kind of thing and take it to Ghana and in a smaller scale like that, and maybe do something like that as the Washington Tennis Foundation is doing, it could be something good. I purchased a massive land in Ghana. And so with this in mind, my whole idea was to get a tennis academy going. And so that is how the foundation came about. Basically formed the foundation with the intent of going out to Ghana, to the poor neighborhoods, helping these kids out, getting them off the street. We feed them, you know, so we go out there, we run clinics for them, we give them food, we talk to them a little bit about manners and how you say please, say your thank yous, and they take you very far, and be a humble person. We used to use our own money until we formed the foundation, and then it was helpful. We had a few donations from some individuals, and so we started the foundation like that. I mean, from Africa, there's plenty of athletes. They all playing soccer. So my whole game is idea is get them out of soccer a little bit. Don't be, you know, come to tennis also, because through tennis also you can make it. Coming up a racket to play tennis in Ghana is not easy, you know. So we go out to the States, to most of the companies here, and we'll collect a bunch of used rackets, a bunch of used shoes, clothing, hats, you name it. All this a little equipment that is huge when we take it back home. And then we fly to Ghana and basically run a big clinic and distribute all these things to the kids. So we have taken thousands and thousands of rackets to Ghana. My whole thing is trying to give back. You know, I was helped so much in my upbringing. I want to pretty much just take that back to, if I can help a couple kids go through the same channel that I went through, you know, and put a couple kids or even 3 or 4 kids into college and stuff like what I went through, that would be plenty for me. That's the whole idea of we're trying to get at. You know, so all we're trying to get right now is if we can get this facility built and start something going out there and get some coaches out there to help these kids out, we can actually fulfill our dreams and achieve what we're trying to do back home in Ghana.